welcome back to my channel. Tonight I have a video for you all about how to declutter your closet. So if you're interested in what that is all about, just keep watching. Okay guys, I had a request from one of my subscribers, and I think she is a fellow YouTuber, and her name is Model Chick NY. She requested a video on how to declutter. And it just so happened that I was planning on doing a video about how to declutter, so it kind of like fell in the line. Now, if you've watched me before, you know I did a video on how to find your personal style, and then I did a video on sharing my personal style, and then I took you to how to add trends and fads into your wardrobe, how to incorporate those into your personal style. Now, before I take you into what I'm going to add in the fall haul and all that other stuff, I wanted to share with you how to get ready for it. And one of the ways to get ready for the new season is part of the decluttering process. So if that is an area of opportunity for you, maybe this video will help, all right? So what I always like to tell my clients is prevention is better than cure. So if we can prevent you from getting cluttered in the first place, that is the best way that you don't have to go through this, really hard process. And this can be a really emotional process for people. You would be surprised how attached people are to their things, all right? So I will share some prevention tips towards the end of the video, but right now we're gonna discuss some tips that may help you if you're already in this situation. And what we wanna do is we wanna work on the barriers that stop you from wanting to even start the declutter process. I find that when we start to talk about declutter, people start to, kind of clench up a little bit. They're interested in it, but they start to get that overwhelming feeling like, well, what am I gonna do with all the stuff? And so what I will tell you is before you even start this process, the first thing is you wanna have a plan in place of what you're gonna do with the items when you remove them from your closet. So whether that is you're gonna sell them, donate, give them away, or whatever, you wanna have that plan in place. And a lot of times people feel like, oh my God, I've paid so much money for them and I don't wanna sell my things. Because in this day and age, a lot of people sell on the internet. If you're someone who isn't comfortable with doing that, there are the traditional ways. You can go to a consignment store. You can also do a garage sale. You can also, see if your church will do like a table setup where a lot of the ladies kind of get together and they do like a swap, like, a sale. Or you could do a block club sale. I mean, there are a lot of ways that you could do it from the old-fashioned way if you're someone who isn't comfortable with selling on the internet. And I know that that is a barrier for a lot of people, especially around my age group. A lot of us get uncomfortable with that whole, mailing it out to someone and trusting a stranger to pay us and so forth and so on, and they would just like to do that exchange in person, and I totally get it. So just make sure that you start working on a plan before you start the declutter process, all right? Kind of send messages out to your friends and family that, I've got a lot of nice things that I am interested in selling, so maybe you guys can come by and take a look and see if it's anything that you want to buy. So, that is a great way to do it, is to solicit the help of friends and family. So once you've gotten that barrier out of the way and you're ready to start the process, excuse me, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to edit from the current season that we're in. For example, right now we're currently in summer, so you want to start decluttering your summer items. And you're like, what? But I'm still wearing them. And that's exactly why. I want you to go ahead before you start bringing your fall things in and address the things that you haven't worn. What I find is that if you try to wait until the summer season gets ready to start again to declutter before you bring in the new summer items, you aren't always so aware or honest of what you wore and what you didn't wear. If you do it right now, you can honestly look at your closet and say, you know what, I didn't wear that, but I did wear this. What you want to do is take the things that you wear all the time and move them to the side. And then the things that you didn't wear, you want to start there. You want to start addressing them there. And you can do it because you're currently in the season wearing the items now. And you'll have a bulk of things that are just pretty much staring you in the face that you've had this whole time to wear that you haven't worn. And you want to ask yourself there, am I not wearing it because I don't like it? It doesn't look right on me. It doesn't project the image I want it to do. It doesn't fit me, or it's worn, stained, tattered, or whatever. Whatever that reason may be, you want to go ahead and you want to remove that. And that right there will free up a ton of space like you can't even imagine if you just address the current season before you bring in the new season. The next thing is you want to remove multiples of trends and fads that you have in your closet. You will find that when you tend to like a fad or a trend, a lot of times we buy it in the whole assortment. So you may be someone who loves, you know, the big bell sleeve tops. And if you love the flutter sleeve tops, you might have, you know, bought the first one in black or something and you loved it. So you went back and bought all the colors. What you want to do is you want to address those multiples in your closet. You want to be honest with yourself. Am I really wearing all those? And you want to teach yourself that it's okay to have the trend once and wear that one multiple times instead of trying to buy a full assortment and wear them each once. So if you go through and you remove the multiples, you will find that you will have a lot of space. The next thing is you want to address all the incomplete outfits and accessories that you have in your closet. And what I mean by incomplete, I mean a lot of times we will buy things with the intentions of when I finish it, like this would look great if I only had this additional piece. And what you want to do is those things that you keep purchasing like that really don't fit into what you currently have, one, you want to stop doing that. But if you've already done that and you've noticed that, hey, you haven't completed, now would be the time to remove that and then learn not to do it again. But what I will say is 9 times out of 10, you're never going to complete it. You're never going to remember to complete it. So if it's been sitting there 6, 7, 8 months or season after season and you still haven't completed, go ahead and let it go. Of course, without saying, you want to get rid of, like I said, all the worn, tattered, stained things you meant to take to the cleaners to get the buttons done, all those things that you never did, go ahead and remove that. If you still find yourself like a little bit overwhelmed with the idea of letting your things go, start somewhere. Even if you just say, you know what, I'm going to take out, 7 pieces, 8 pieces, 9 pieces, or whatever, start there. Once you remove them, you will feel like, okay, it's not so bad, Start small, start somewhere. So if you're just like, oh my God, I can't see myself taking all these pieces and getting rid of it, start with just a small number, remove those, and then try again in a week or so, or whenever you feel like it. But you want to at least start. Once you start and get in the habit of it, it doesn't become so hard to kind of separate yourself from. And the last thing is, I want you to celebrate the space when you get through this process. I want you to, when you finally get it decluttered, I want you to take pictures of it. I want you to enjoy that space. I want you to get used to it. I want you to go through it. I want you to feel the items that are there. And I want you to, just really kind of enjoy that space. Enjoy seeing all your clothing, enjoying seeing that movement of the hangers, and kind of get familiar with that idea so that you desire that all the time. So that whenever you're thinking of picking up things, to take up that space, that you really enjoy the space more than it is the items that you're bringing in, if that makes sense. So those are the tips that I think would help you to help declutter. Now, I talked to you a little bit about, in the beginning of the video, about prevention is better than cure. And what I want to do is, I want to give you some tips on how to prevent this from happening. I find that it's a lot easier if you address the situation when it's small instead of addressing it when it's like gotten way out of hand. So one of the tips that I would suggest is to kind of put a giveaway bag or a hamper or a box or something in your closet, so that every single day that you go in your closet and you try something on and you see something that is tattered, worn, or something, you go ahead and toss it in the box. Or something that you keep trying on and you go, I hate the way this looks on me, this is horrible. Go ahead and toss it in the box. If you're doing it every day or every week, then it's a smaller amount than it is if you're kind of tackling it all at one time. Try to handle it before it gets out of control. If you want to take it a step further, when I talk to you about how to find your personal style, try to stop yourself from, when you're purchasing things, don't purchase things that don't really fit in your personal style, and you'll find that you don't really need to have to purge them because you didn't bring the wrong items home to begin with. You also want to address things that are on sale, and this is where a lot of us kind of get this overwhelming feeling where this is kind of where the clutter kind of begins. This is the genesis of the clutter, if you might say. I will say that we see these sales and we think, this sale's never going to happen again. This is such a great deal. I'm going to get it. And you really don't have a use for it. There isn't a need for it, and you purchase it anyway. And I will tell you that that is the main reason why we see a lot of clutter in the closet. You don't need it, but you think it's such an awesome deal and you don't want to bypass it. Learn how to turn your eye to a sale. I have trained myself that unless it is truly on my to-buy list, it's on my list of something that I truly, truly want, that I really, really, can see myself using, that I don't care how great the sale is, I'm not going to get it. I'm just like, it's not going to work for me, I'm not going to get it. What you want to do is, like I said, add things that truly represent your personal style. You want to make sure that when you're making these decisions about bringing things into your closet, if it isn't a replacement, then remove the older item. And what I mean by that, every season I update like my basics. I will update like a black blazer, a white blazer, and usually it'll have like a new kind of style element to it, and I will remove the old one. Now, if you are buying high-end luxury blazers, and usually the higher the price point and the more classic of the design, it will kind of live on and on and on. But for me, buying clothes at the mid-price point that I do, I tend to like to change them out a lot because I like to have sometimes a little bit of a trend element to some of my classics. So if I bring in a new piece and it is replacing something that is already there because I already own it, then the old one has to go. So it's that same rule of one out, one in. So, or I should say one in, one out. If you get yourself on that habit, if you find yourself that, you have a pair of jeans in the closet, and I see so many people do this with denim, and they slide down, you don't like them because they don't fit right, they hug too tight here, or whatever the reason, they're too low rise, let them go. Let them go. Whenever you bring the new denim in, let them go. And you will see that people will keep that same denim. They'll go over and they'll have 80 pair of jeans. And it's not necessary. If you find yourself going out to look for something new because there's something wrong with what you already have, when you find the new thing, you gotta let the old thing go. That will help keep some of the clutter down. That's kind of one of those things that will, prevention, I should say, that helps kind of go towards that theme of prevention is better than cure. So that is everything that I have for you guys today. I am going through the decluttering process too, guys. I am now switching out, getting ready for fall season. And during this time for me, I go through and I try out a lot of things to see if I'm going to go forward with those things, because I already kind of have an idea based off of how I want to build my fall wardrobe. And I do what I call little mini capsule wardrobes. And I will take you through that process coming up. That it's not going to be the next video, but it will be coming up soon when I get all my pieces in, because I'm gathering the pieces now. I even do it with makeup. I've recently added some new makeup from Tom Ford that I am actually trying out now, because I'm looking for some new winter colors and things like that. So when I get it all complete and all together, I am going to put together a fabulous video for you guys of my fall haul, as well as how I do this kind of like minimal wardrobe for that time, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, be sure to leave them below, and I'll holler at you guys, I guess, next week. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.